have had some technical problems.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're live! Hello, everybody!
Welcome to Let's Chat Live, everyone. We're so happy that you joined us here on HuddleCam's Facebook and YouTube channels.
Today, we're going to be showing you our latest HuddleCamHD Generation 3 joystick and a bunch more. So stay tuned, and here we go.
Welcome to Let's Chat Live, presented by HuddleCamHD. Broadcasting live every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. Tune in weekly as we uncover the convergence of AV and IT. Your front seat to industry professional interviews in the exciting video conferencing and video collaboration space. Let's get started.
Just realized that we changed the show to Wednesdays.
Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We'll have to change that for next time. Let's dive in.
All right, so here we go. Today, we're going to be talking about our brand new third generation joystick. Actually, one of the most popular products that HuddleCamHD has is now has a new webinar. So welcome to episode 1 of season 2.
That's right. You will be able to find us right here on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching us, even on Twitch at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific every Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe, like, show us that love so you can be notified when we do go live.
And the new product, the Generation 3 joystick, has a number of upgrades for those of you out there who enjoy having joystick control of your pan, tilt, zoom cameras. This is the webinar for you.
Absolutely. Continue to stick with us and continue the conversation beyond today's show in our Facebook user group. You can join the user group, join the family at facebook.com/groups/HuddleCamHD.
So we want to start this webinar off with a quick little video showing the latest features and how to set up this joystick. And then remember, we're live, so you guys can ask questions and we can answer them for you. Let's go ahead and get started. The first thing to do when you receive your HuddleCamHD 3rd generation joystick controller is read through the included manual. Once you have opened the box, you will find a user manual, the joystick controller, a 12-volt power supply, and a 9-foot DB9 connection cable. There's also a 5-port connection screw for the terminal plug used for RS422 and RS485 camera connections plugged into the back of the joystick by default. This joystick is capable of controlling PTZ cameras using RS232, RS485, and RS422 cabling using VISCA, Pelco-P, or Pelco-D protocols. This joystick can control a maximum of 255 cameras via Pelco-D or Pelco-P. The maximum communication distance is 1,200 meters using RS485 with 24-gauge twisted pair cabling. On the back of the joystick, you will find a power connection, a DB9 connection, and a Phoenix connection port. Let's plug the included 12-volt power supply into the power connection, and we will see the power LED lights turn on. The DB9 connector allows for RS232 connections to cameras, generally using an 8-pin mini-DIN connector. Let's connect the included DB9 to 8-pin mini-DIN camera control cable into this connection port, and screw the terminal connectors to ensure a secure connection. Optionally, you can use the Phoenix connection port with the included 5-port screw terminal plug with RS422 or RS485 PTZ cameras. Note, some camera control options are only available using the VISCA protocol. Pelco-P and Pelco-D do not support main exposure and main focus joystick buttons. Now let's connect the 8-pin mini-DIN camera side of our DB9 cable to a HuddleCamHD 10X camera. You will notice that this camera features a VISCA in port and a VISCA out port. The VISCA out port is used for daisy chaining multiple cameras together using RS232 or RS485 control. If you need to extend this first cable, you will need a DB9 extension cable. If you want to add an additional camera to the control in a daisy chain setup, you will need a cascade cable. For your first camera in the chain, we will be connecting to it using a DB9 to an 8-pin mini DIN cable. Each additional camera will be connected using an 8-pin mini DIN cascade cable. You can learn more about DB9 and cascade cables at HuddleCamHD.com/cables. By default, the joystick is set up to use Visca protocol and a baud rate of 9600. This is ideal for any HuddleCamHD or PTZ Optics camera. If you need to change the control protocol or baud rate, you can access the main menu by holding down the setup button for 3 seconds and using the default password 8888. You can always go back up one level at any time in the menu system by clicking the top left escape button. Tip: the higher the baud rate you use, the faster your control connection will be. The HuddleCamHD joystick Generation 3 was designed around the HuddleCamHD and PTZ Optics cameras. Not all functions will work with cameras outside these brands. By default, most cameras are set up to receive Visca commands on Visca address 1. If you are setting up a daisy chain camera control system, you will need to set each camera with a unique address for each camera in your chain. Let's set up a second camera in a daisy chain of control and use a PTZ Optics camera this time. We will take the 8-pin mini DIN Visca output of the HuddleCamHD 10X and connect that to the input of the PTZ Optics camera using a Visca cascade cable. Now let's set up the PTZ Optics camera with Visca address 2 using the OSD menu. Now we should be able to select between camera 1 and camera 2 using the unique hot switching camera buttons. Let's select camera 1 and test out the joystick controller. Now let's select camera 2 and test out the joystick controller with camera 2. As you can see, we can easily switch between multiple cameras with this joystick controller. In this way, we can quickly switch between up to 6 cameras using the 6 camera hotkey buttons. If we need to select a camera beyond the 6 hotkey buttons, we can use the cam address button and enter the camera number we would like to select and press enter. Now that we have multiple cameras set up with our joystick controller, let's set up a camera preset. First, select the camera that you would like to set up a camera preset with. Then click the set button, followed by the number preset you would like to save and press enter. Alternatively, you can press and hold a numeric key 1 through 9 for 3 seconds to quickly store the camera's current PTZ location into that preset number. Once all of your camera presets are set up, you can call camera presets in recall mode. You can leave set mode by clicking the escape button. You can enter call mode by clicking the recall button. Alternatively, you can quickly press any of the 1 through 9 buttons to call a camera preset. To call a camera preset above 1 through 9, you can enter the preset number in recall mode and press the enter button. Note, for your convenience, the joystick controller uses the same preset numbers whether they are set, cleared, or called as the handheld IR remote control that comes with your camera. Therefore, any changes made on your IR remote will be reflected in your joystick's operation. You have now set up your 3rd generation HuddleCamHD joystick controller to work with multiple Visca PTZ cameras. For more in-depth setups requiring connections for RS485 and RS422 cameras, please reference the included manual. Your joystick controller includes a 2-year warranty. If you ever have any questions about the operation of this joystick, feel free to reach out to our support team at the phone number listed on our website or submit a help ticket at help.huddlecamhd.com. And here we go, a live demo of it working. So that's the joystick controller there, controlling our HuddleCamHD 10X. We also have a 3X here connected. And I kind of just wanted to show you guys how it's connected and how it all works. So there's our 10X there. Here's the joystick here. If you guys have any questions, now is the time to get a live demo of the product. If I hit Cam 2 here, I now have control of a HuddleCam 3X here. Nice and smooth. I believe this camera can do a full 360. Let's see if that's true. It can. This thing can just go and go and go. How about that? So the joystick is a great camera to be controller to do multiple cameras. And in the video, we showed that it's not just HuddleCam cameras. This was actually designed for HuddleCam and PTZ Optics cameras. And it does support industry standards like RS232, RS422, and RS485 cabling with industry standard protocols of VISCA, Pelco-D, and Pelco-P. Now, we threw in a lot of information in a short amount of time in that video, so I know it takes a little time to decompress. A couple of the things that we said was, one is that Pelco-D and Pelco-P can actually travel the longest distance. And then we talked about RS422 versus RS485 and RS232. One of the things I wanted to show is this is actually our most popular camera, if you can believe it, the HuddleCam 3X. It's only $399, I believe. And I wanted to show the back of it here. So we don't have the USB connection in, even though that is used for video. But what we do have here is an RS232 in. Now, the thing that you're seeing right next to that RS232 is RS485. This does not have a daisy chain out of RS232. So keep that in mind. This camera would have to be the last camera in the chain in order to have PTZ control. So when you're daisy chaining a 3X, you'd want to put that as the last camera in your chain. Now, if we take a quick look at the HuddleCam 10X, if I spin this round here, see how that looks, you'll see that we actually have RS232 in and out. And so this camera has RS232 in and out, so it can be the first one in the chain. Now, one of the things I wanted to quickly show is the different types of cables that we have here. So the first cable that I want to show is called a DB9 extension cable. Let's show this up close. So here's the DB9 cable. See it there? It has a male and a female end. All right. This is used to extend the joystick controller from the first joystick to the first camera. And now I'm going to unplug this really quickly to show how this works, and I'll show that maybe I can show the back of the joystick here. You can see that this is a DB9 connection, and I'll unplug it just so you can really see it here. Boop! That's a DB9, but on the camera side, we have an 8-pin mini DIN. So let me show you that cable really up close and personal over here. This is included with every camera. So the DB9 plugs into the joystick. The 8-pin mini DIN plugs into the first camera. Now, when we get to the second and the third camera, that's when we have what's called an 8-pin mini DIN cascade cable. The cascade there, 8-pin mini DIN on both sides. They're both male, and you just have to make sure to plug into the in of one port and the out of the other. So hopefully that makes sense. I know that can be new for a lot of people, but the joystick controller, this is a serial joystick controller. Very fast, instantaneous camera control for multiple cameras, and I think that video really showed kind of how it's all set up. Let me plug this back in case we need to use it. Are we getting any questions that we should answer?
My chat's being a little wonky, so I'm going to refresh it and see if I can get the comments feeding through now. Maybe we just cover, the top 5 upgrades from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3. Just make sure we lay them out really clear so people can understand what they're going to be getting.
So really quickly, one of my favorite new features on the joystick is the ability to set camera presets with just the click of a button. So let me set like 2 camera presets. And what I'm going to do from this view is I'm going to put this camera here because you'll be able to see it a little better. So I'm going to put that camera right next to it. So let's say we want that camera preset, a little zoomed in right there, to be set to preset 1. Well, what we all have to do is hold preset 1 down, and then preset set, hold it open. We'll go to another preset. Let's say there's a spot over there on a whiteboard that we want to hold. Set a preset, and it's set. So now we can just hit boop 1, boop 2. So it's that easy to set and call presets. Now that allows you to do up to 9. What if we want to do a 10th preset? Well, if we want to do a 10th preset, then that's when we do use the set button to set, let's say preset 12 and hit enter. Once we're in the set mode, we do hit escape to get out of that menu and then go to the recall mode. And that's how you can get above, what did we set that as, 12? There, 12, because the camera's already there. Let's do 12 again. 12, enter, and it goes back. So you can do up to 255 presets or something like that. It's really incredible. The other thing that we can do, which is brand new, is the OSD menu, and that stands for on-screen display menu.
That's going to be a popular one for sure.
So it easily allows you to get into the more advanced settings of the camera. And, these are all new as well. The focus up and down, autofocus lock, autofocus unlock, the iris plus and minus, and the autofocus on and off at exposure. So those are great features to be able to have all of that built right in there. And then if you really need to get into the nitty gritty of the joystick, you can hold setup for 3 seconds. And then it will ask you to enter a password by default. That's 8888. Is that all of them? Yep. I think it is. And then enter. And then there is camera setup mode and system setup mode. So we'll go into system setup mode. We have the ability to change the password, do a factory default, load new firmware, decide whether or not you want to hear a beep every time a button is clicked, and then assign the keyboard and ID.
Do we get preset speed control?
So preset speed control will be available. See right here where it says speed? So I'm glad you asked that. Is that a question from the chat?
No, that's on my list of
That's
updates.
on your list of updates. So yes, so we have
slyly reminding you.
Pan speed, tilt speed, thank you for that, zoom speed, focus speed, and of course, preset speed. So that is the speed between 2 presets.
You did the camera hotkeys.
Yes, the preset hotkeys. Oh, okay, and then there's 6 keys here for camera
4.
switching. Yeah,
You used to have 4. We've got 2 more for you by request from you guys.
And here's Larry jumping in with a question.
From Larry. If you are using RS-422 for longer distances, do you have a RS-422 receiver that converts back to RS-232?
So if you're using the RS-422 cabling, I believe that there's an RS-422 adapter. So on the back of the camera, on the camera side, I'm not sure. I believe that there's an RS-485 adapter for the camera. I can't remember that. You'll have to check our knowledge base at help.huddlecamhd.com because that information is available. But right here, this RS-422 5-pin terminal here, you can use that to do your send and receive. So you can see here it's actually written out. One of them is a ground. One of them is the send and receive, and those there. And then you take those out to the camera. At the camera side, I just can't remember if there is a conversion or if it goes right. I think there's a 485 conversion from the 8-pin mini DIN, but you'll have to check with our support team on that. So other than that, that is pretty much our show. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. That's the brand new Generation 3 joystick. If you want to join us every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific for just 20 minutes, we're going to update you on HuddleCamHD products, and we're going to be doing a focus this quarter in the early of 2019 on higher education, distance learning, and video conferencing.
Stay tuned, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content today, and we'll see you next time.